from our studios in beautiful Mandan, North Dakota, along the mighty Missouri River. Here is your guru of geek, Marlo Anderson.
Are you frustrated with your monthly smartphone payment?
Hey, you're back.
Yeah, I'm
It's
back.
you.
I know it's hard to believe.
I kind of remember you. You used to work here, right? Yeah.
I think so. I'm not sure. So, yeah. Instead of being frustrated, think about how the device saves you money or even makes you money. We'll be discussing how you can do that. Also, some discussion on companies I met on recent road trips, speaking of being gone, as well as the latest in tech news. And, Jim, I appreciate the sound effects this morning that you put in.
Oh, thank you.
You know, the lawnmower going in the background.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about letting everybody know in the world that we are actually in summertime.
Summertime, and there he goes.
There it
again.
goes, yes.
We got our own lawnmower man outside.
Yes.
He's kind of weird.
Letting us know that it is time to mow the grass out there.
Yeah.
So, how you been, man?
I'm doing okay. You know, I've been enjoying the summer days, and I love these summer nights.
Yeah.
Every night, right around dusk, after the sun goes down, it's just beautiful.
I know that, you know, if there's a little breeze, it seems to get a little quieter.
Oh,
yeah. There is nothing like North Dakota sunsets and that time of day.
It's spectacular.
It is. That's why, you know, I know as I travel across the country, the first thing you always hear, of course, is that it's so cold up here or whatever.
Well, it is sometimes.
It is, yes. But I don't think people realize how spectacular our summers are here.
Yeah.
They really are. I mean, I know, you know, we get the occasional thunderstorm and we get a little rough weather in the summertime too, but there's nothing like it. There really isn't.
I love to drive over the bridge just as it's starting to get dark.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. You like
the
that?
lights flickering.
Oh, yeah. Are you talking the new bridge over here too with,
I'm talking
with the
about,
new lights?
Well, that too, but the interstate bridge, I was thinking.
Yeah.
Driving over in that one good lane we have now.
Because again, if you're not from around here, we do have two seasons, right, Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is winter and road construction.
Yeah, we've got too much snow and orange cones.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. So it's too much fun. And of course, I want to throw a big thank you out to our guest hosts over the last couple of weeks, Dave Blair, Justin Glasser, Marv Dorner.
Yeah.
I know they did a fabulous job, and I really appreciate that they help out when I'm traveling. So I think it's fantastic. You guys did great. So lots of stuff going on.
Yeah.
You know, the Amazon deal with Market Foods.
I think we should talk about that.
Yeah, or Whole Foods, excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah, Whole Foods. The question is, how is this going to affect the way folks shop for groceries?
Well, let me ask you this question first then. So have you ever ordered groceries over the internet before?
Me? No.
So you've never ordered any type of food ever?
Not well, Omaha steak, that kind of thing for Christmas.
Well, I think you've maybe have answered your question a little bit then. I mean, I suppose as we start moving forward, I see a couple scenarios playing out. First, you're going to order your stuff, and areas that don't have Whole Foods will be able to order from Amazon.
Right.
You know, if Amazon gets this deal, it's not even a for sure deal yet. I mean, they are, maybe we should back up. So Amazon is in a takeover deal right now of Whole Foods. But there's a possibility that other companies could come into this. You know, like Walmart, for example, is actually, there's a lot of speculation that Walmart is going to get involved in this too, and maybe they will end up buying out Whole Foods.
Well, Walmart already has the grocery thing.
They have the grocery component already.
Shop online for groceries.
That's
thing
correct.
Worked out.
That's correct. So, you know, they would make some sense to be in this game as well. But it's very interesting that Amazon is making a play for this because, you know, Amazon is moving to brick and mortar stores.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people would say that Amazon is the reason that a lot of brick and mortar stores are struggling and or out of business.
Yeah.
You know, and now all of a sudden, you know, they dominate online sales. Are they going to eventually dominate brick and mortar sales? That's a very, very interesting thing, right? And then you throw in the fact that we're moving into a different era when it comes to transportation.
Yeah.
So, you know, Amazon already has a bunch of warehouses across the country. Our Whole Foods, if they end up taking over Whole Foods, will they treat them as brick and mortar plus distribution centers? And will they then start delivering by drone, by autonomous vehicle? You know, and I think that's kind of what they're thinking because, you know, how we get our stuff 10 years from now is totally different than what it is now.
Probably, yeah.
You know, the FedExes, the UPSs, the Postal Service, they're all going to be greatly impacted by this because, you know, you pay whatever it is, $5 or $10 to get something shipped from Amazon, right? It might be more than that, right?
Sure.
they're trying to figure out, Amazon's trying to figure out how they keep that themselves, that $8 or $10 for shipping, which is why they're so interested in how do we deliver stuff by drones, for example, because, or whatever. So they get to keep that component and make additional revenues from that.
So are we living for the day now when the drones are going to drop off our groceries?
I believe we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it might actually be, and I actually think the industry is 180 degrees on themselves. I know you and I have talked about this before. Sure. I think you and I are actually going to own our drones, and we're just going to dispatch them to get our bread and our milk, and then they'll go get our prescription, and then they'll pick up our pizza from the pizza shop.
Droney, go get some groceries. Go pick up some milk. We need some more milk.
You know, if I need to get something over to Jim, then you're in my contact list on my phone, and I can just send my drone over. Yeah. Hey, Jim, you got to try this pizza, and I can send you a slice, man.
See, in my family now, the drone is me. Jim, go get some. Go get a 6-pack. Jim, go get some milk.
When you get your first drone to go pick up stuff, you're going to have to just put your name and vinyl on the side. And this will be like Jim 2, right?
Jim 2.0, right? Jim Jr.
That's
Little
right.
Jimmy.
Little Jimmy. There you go. I love that. That's fantastic. So what do you think about the Amazon deal with Whole Foods and them getting into grocery? I mean, what's your initial thought when you heard this news?
I'm not a fan of grocery shopping.
Okay.
It just seems like such a waste of time to me.
Okay.
Now, my wife, of course, is really into it. She may miss it. She may insist on doing the shopping herself.
Well, this is the thing that I think is interesting, right? Don't you think that part of grocery shopping is that browsing aspect?
Yes.
Because you're like, oh, what am I going to make for next Friday night? And you just kind of wander the grocery store and you come up with ideas. I don't know if you're going to get that if you're browsing online. I don't know.
For a lot of people, the shopping experience, it seems to be part of the hardwiring.
Right.
It's something they really get into.
Right. You know, you can go out and you can thump the watermelon, you know, and
it's like our ancestors going out and foraging for stuff.
I agree. I think it's just kind of, I agree. Yeah. It's kind of hardwired into us. So it'll be interesting. There are people, I know there will be, I may be one of them that will buy some groceries online. But because I'm like you, I could care less about grocery shopping.
Right.
You know, and there are probably some things. I'll pick on popcorn, for example. I love popcorn, you know, and if I could just tell my Alexa to get me some new popcorn and it would just show up in a couple days.
Yeah.
I might be okay with that. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't like going to the grocery store, so maybe this would be okay. I'm not really crazy about not supporting our local stores. You know, that's the thing with this.
A lot of people are going to lose their jobs.
So,
there's going to be a big upheaval in the job market. There already is, of course.
Right.
But it's going to get even more so.
It's just going to get transformed to something else.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it just won't be as we see it now. But, you know, if Amazon's getting into groceries, people have to work there too, right?
That's right.
So, yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting.
And that, of course, begs the question, which we do address periodically, of how our society is going to deal with the people who are displaced by the new technology.
Exactly.
The modern-day version of the buggy whip salesman.
I absolutely agree with that. So after the break, everybody, we will continue this conversation and get into some of the companies that I was able to visit with on my recent trips. Come on back.
Currently 70 degrees.
On Twitter, Facebook, online, and YouTube. Supertalk1270.com.
Follow the Guru of Geek at facebook.com/The Tech Ranch or Twitter at Guru of Geek or thetechranch.com. Here again is your Guru of Geek, Marlo Anderson.
And I want to thank everybody who follows us around the country, and I guess it's across the country and around the world, isn't it, Jim?
Around the world, across the nation, and up your street.
I've been away from the microphone for a little too long this time, I think. But
hey, were you away?
I was away.
Oh.
It's good to see you again, Geezer.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think the Geezer even missed you.
He probably slept the whole time I was gone.
Pretty much.
But yeah, we want to thank everybody who follows us on the Blueberry Network, on the Tech Podcast Network. We're on iTunes, Apple TV, Roku, Tuned In, and of course our own app, Radio Pup. All kinds of places you can catch the Tech Ranch live. Or if you want to listen to it a little bit later, you can do that too. Always great information on the show, so I always recommend to people, especially if you're driving, to catch the show again on a device or something later. So don't write stuff down while you're driving. Make sure you just listen again. So So yeah, recent trips, it's been very interesting. I've been on the West Coast most of the time in the Seattle and north of Seattle. I was in Nevada quite a bit, in California quite a bit, and I have a habit, Jim, and I don't know if you ever do this, where you're trying to find the local flavor when you travel.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I kind of do the same thing with technology. So I like to go and find, if there's some startup groups in the area, if there are, meetups and that type of thing. So I'll hop on like Eventbrite and see if there's events going on for startups and that type of thing. And then also meetups.com, and that's where I find most of these type of things. So as most of you know, I'm also involved in National Day Calendar, and it's a big blogging website, and they have a meetup in Las Vegas for bloggers. And I happened to wander into that about 2.5 weeks ago or whatever, and just started visiting with people, and that just correlated into being invited to some other things, and went to an event called Masterminds. And Masterminds is a Masterminds for business owners, I guess, or people who want to, figure out how they use social media for their business. How do you get better search engine results, that type of thing. And usually when I go to these type of things, they're more about businesses networking, meaning that they get a couple minutes and they talk about themselves. And generally it's pretty boring. I don't usually get too excited about those type of things, but this one in particular, Jim, was about how you can, they do this thing where they throw out a challenge or a success for the week or whatever. So if you have successes, people kind of celebrate with you a little bit. If you have some challenges, people come up with ways to help you get through this challenge. Extremely diverse, and this was started by a company in Vegas called Vital Medias, and they do a lot of social media work themselves. Vitalmedias.com. Brittany Rohr is one of the co-owners of the company. Just an amazing individual that started this whole thing, and it's growing by leaps and bounds because it's about sharing and helping, and I thought it was fantastic. So I'm just kind of throwing that out there. I think this is something that other communities can model behind, and help that tech culture, or help that startup culture. So wonderful. Another company that I ran into, actually through the thanks for the sound effect again there, Jim.
Oh, yeah, lawnmower man.
I appreciate that. And again, it's summer here. People have to understand that, so we have lawnmowers going and everything else.
Yeah.
Another company I met, CJ Thompson with Platinum Edge Media and Imaging. This company has developed, they do a lot of work for a lot of musicians. Pablo Cruz. Right. They just built an app. Very good, Jim. Yeah. Just built an app for them, and does a lot of work with restaurants and that type of thing. So I was pretty impressed with this organization as well. I mean, I can't tell you how many great people I met at this Masterminds group. And I would love, the reason I'm just sharing this is because I think this is something that is, that other companies, or I should say other cities, can duplicate.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to me and thinking about how you can advance either your startup culture or your tech culture in your town, this is how you do it.
Meeting of the minds.
I'm just telling you, I was very, very impressed with it, and these companies are fantastic. So I had a lot of fun with that. Wow. Met a lot of other interesting people on the trip, I guess. Have you ever been to the San Juans?
To the where?
San Juan Islands?
No.
Never?
No.
You have to
Love
go
to.
someday. Yeah, it's northern part of Washington. It would be, you go about 40, 50 miles north of Seattle. Mm-hmm. There's a town called Anacortes that you can pop into. You can take a ferry to a couple of the islands out there.
Now, is that Canada?
Actually, you could take a ferry to British Columbia, to Victoria. Yeah.
It's got to be real close to the border.
Very close.
Okay.
Extremely close. So you can, it doesn't get any nicer than that. I mean, it was just gorgeous going through, in the water. It was just beautiful that day.
Yeah.
So had a great time out there too. So let's see. How you make money with your phone? You like to...
I got my phone right here. Tell me how to make money with
ready?
it.
Well, first of all, you throw it away and you don't pay the bill. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm just kidding, of course. So I will say every month. So my phone bill is like $190 a month. And I know some people pay a lot more, some people pay a lot less. But I get aggravated every time I have to pay that phone bill because I think about the old days, right? Mm-hmm. My phone bill used to be probably $50 or $75 a month, and that included long distance off my landline from my home and whatever, you know. How in the world did we end up getting to a point where we are paying hundreds of dollars a month for our phone?
Good question.
But it does a lot more for us, and I think that's what you have to understand is that you're paying for those different conveniences. So I always, I kind of cringe a little bit when I write that check every month, but at the same time, I look at, you know, if I didn't have the GPS function in my phone, how much extra fuel would I spend? You know, money on fuel that I would spend, because I would be, you know, I used to remember this when, and you do too, when you were working with maps, right? I mean, you would wander around some blocks forever trying to figure out where the house was or the business was, or you get off track a little bit. So you save money by the tools that you have. Yeah. You know, and the phone, of course, the convenience of having the phone with you all the time is great too. But there are some great apps that are out there, and I'm going to go through some of them right now.
All right.
So, of course, you can, if you like to drive, and you got a couple hours here and there or whatever, you can become a driver for Lyft, Uber, whatever, and they pay pretty well, actually.
That's what I hear.
And it doesn't have to. I mean, you have to have a later model car, you know. But there are options for you, by the way. If you really want to get serious about it, they'll give you a car.
Oh yeah, here they'll give you a car.
Now I'm not sure about it in the Bismarck area.
Okay,
yet, but I know I've ridden in many Lyft and Uber vehicles that are basically company cars. If you if I remember right, the Uber driver I was talking to one time said that if you have 40 or more fares a week, so you got to do 8 a day if you're working 5 hours, or if you're working 5 hours a week, or 5 days a week.
5 days a week.
Yeah, so you do 8 a day. You get the car for free, basically.
8 rides a day.
Yeah, you get the car for free. Plus, you still make your fare on that, right?
Sure.
If you don't make that many, there's like a sliding scale type of thing. So you would pay maybe a couple dollars a week or whatever for the car. Then,
well, if they're giving you the car, then you don't have to worry about the upkeep on the car.
Well, that's the nice thing about it, right? I mean, and you can, when you get 60,000 miles on it or whatever that number is, that you have to go get a different car, you just go get a different car. Right. So there's some advantages of that. So people who are interested in your, you know, even on a part-time basis, I would think that you could do 8 rides a day.
I would think so, yeah.
I mean,
depending on the time of day, you could do that in a couple hours.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. So I just think that there's some opportunity for somebody who maybe wants to make a couple dollars and maybe
still hang out by the airport. Seriously, yeah.
You know, I use Lyft from the airport all the time. In fact, I don't even use the parking facility anymore, because it's actually cheaper to lift over and back.
Don't blame me for that.
Than it is to leave it in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And that way you don't have to worry about your car out in the elements and all this other stuff too. I mean, it's fantastic to do that. Absolutely. And you've used Uber or Lyft before, haven't you?
Once or twice.
Okay. So it's pretty convenient.
Yeah.
You know, for somebody who needs a ride around, I think it's great as well. So, other things, you can sell your unwanted items.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to hop onto eBay anymore to sell your stuff. There's all kinds of places. Of course, locally we have Bizman Online, which I think is fantastic, of course. But there's other things like Let Go, OfferUp, and Mercury, and they're all great apps to sell your stuff. I know Let Go, they have that. I'm sure you've seen the commercial where they're you know, about ready to take off on, you know, on a ship or whatever, and they're like, we got to get rid of this thing, so they take a picture and throw it on Let Go, and before they're gone, there's somebody buying it already.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it works that fast, but
I kind of doubt that.
I'm going to start using it, though. I'm going to see how many people we have locally that are using that app that are looking to buy stuff as well. But those are opportunities. You know, you and I both have stuff that we probably don't need anymore.
A lot of clothes.
Okay.
A lot of clothes that I have outgrown. You know what I mean? And I think
I'm working at growing back into mine.
Yeah,
so,
me too.
Yeah, so hopefully that'll go that way. But there's a lot of opportunity to sell items. So I think so look into Let Go, LETGO, OfferUp, OFFERUP, all one word, and then Mercury, MERCARI. That's spelled a little differently, but those 3 apps are great for doing that. So. And I guess we're at that time again, Jim. So
we are at that time
All right,
again.
After the break, everybody, we will continue our conversation on how you can make some extra bucks with your smart device. So come on back.
Currently 70 degrees.
Here's Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons on Super Talk 1270.
We're back to the Tech Ranch. Stream this program now at supertalk1270.com. Here is your guru of geek, Marlo Anderson.
We're
Back again.
Back again. Hard to believe.
Yeah.
But I can't believe it's been a month since I've been in the studio, Jim.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Unbelievable. But wonderful to be back. I've missed the show a lot. I am honored that it's still going.
Yeah.
I figured you guys, this would be the best time in the world to get rid of me.
No, I look forward to having you here.
If you were going to get rid of me, though, this would have been the time to do that. I could have come back and the door would have been locked.
That's usually how it works.
Yeah,
they change the lock. Well, the key doesn't work.
That's right. Yeah, what's going on here? So, but yeah, we're talking about how you make money with your smartphone. Lots of apps out there that you can do that with. We've just went over Uber, Lyft, of course. Making some money while you're driving people around. There's probably other smaller apps out there too, but and then of course we talked about Let Go, OfferUp, and Mercury right before the break. But now, you had a question during the break.
Well, yeah, obviously there is some scammy stuff out there.
There are some.
There are these get-rich-quick things that you should be wary of if you're looking around. How do you know what's on the up and up?
So I think I would just spend a little extra time investigating an app before you decide you're going to make money using the app. So there's all kinds, Jim, if you were taken by somebody, generally speaking, or if you had a bad restaurant experience, or you had a bad experience at a grocery store or something, right?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times people will post that stuff online, right? And I think it's a good idea if you're going to get involved with something that's going to make money for yourself, make sure that they are actually on the up and up, and you don't want to be spending 5 or 6 hours on something and then not get paid for it.
Yeah.
So you need to track these companies because these things come and go quite a bit, but there are some that are extremely reputable. So you just have to take a little due diligence. It's no different than if you were going to go get a regular job, right? I mean, you just don't start going out there and, you're great in the radio industry, Jim. I mean, I can't see you working on a cruise ship someplace, or maybe you would. I don't know, but
if they pay me enough,
I guess that's true, isn't it? I guess I would too.
Yeah,
you and I could be lounge singers. Can you imagine that?
It could be like the Sweeney sisters.
Ooh,
or something.
Yeah. Maybe it'd be the Sweeney brothers, though. I'm just saying. But yeah, there's all kinds of ways that you can investigate these companies. So I would do that. I just go online. I would just type in the name of the app, and I would just find out some reviews.
See what people are saying about it.
See if people have gotten paid for the gigs that they have done and that type of thing. So with that, there's a lot of ways you can save money with your apps as well.
Yeah.
So if you are a frequent visitor to one of the superstores, for example, you do a lot of shopping with a Target or Kmart or Walmart or whatever. Amazon. A lot of them have their own rewards programs.
Yeah.
In fact, some of them actually have ways where if you buy something there and they find that it's actually less money at other places, they'll rebate it back to you.
Yeah.
So I certainly would bring up and if you're a frequent shopper at one of these places, I would get their app because it's going to save you money by doing that.
What about things like Amazon Prime?
So Amazon Prime saves you money, especially on the shipping side.
Yeah, I guess if you use it enough, it justifies the...
if you use it enough. And of course, part of Amazon Prime is that you get their streaming service as well. Yeah. So for that,
they have their own shows.
They do. Yeah. They do. So, for that $100 a year that you spend on Prime or whatever it is now, a lot of people just take it just to get the streaming service, and then you get the free shipping side of it or express shipping for less money. So,
right.
Yeah. So there's some advantages to, of course, having. But those are things that you should investigate to make sure. Is that $100 a month? If you're buying a couple things a month from Amazon, for example, maybe it will pay for itself to spend the $100 a year, and get that free shipping option.
Sure.
So absolutely. Other rebate type of things, iBotta, ABOTTA. This is a very, very popular app, extremely popular. And what they do is before you go shopping, look and see what they have for rebates. And there might be some, especially, and there's a search parameter. So if you're buying a cleaning product, for example, it'll show you if there's a rebate on it. And after you purchase the product, you just scan the receipt and they will rebate it back to you in the form of a gift certificate or whatever.
Very nice.
Once you get to $20, they'll just put it in your PayPal account. So
excellent.
I know a lot of people who make actually I can't say they make money, but well, I guess they kind of are making money, aren't they? Because they're getting paid rebates back for stuff that they're buying already, right?
Sure.
So they are, and I know people who make hundreds of dollars on this app. So it's actually a pretty cool app. Kind of depends on how much you're spending, though, of course. If you can find rebates and things on things you're already buying, that's where the advantage really comes in, right?
If it's stuff you're already getting, I mean, there's no sense in buying something for a rebate if you're not going to use it.
That's correct. Unless it's maybe, well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, I know a lot of people who get things and then they get rebates for free and then they throw it in. Well, I guess this is a way to make money, right?
Yeah.
So then if you have a garage sale once or twice a year and you have I've seen people who have this, they have a whole section of stuff that they've got for little or nothing because of rebates or whatever, and then they sell it for half the price. They're still doing good, and I'm excited to buy it because instead of paying $10 for it, I'm getting it for $5 now, right? So that works out okay too. Ebates is another one that you can make money while you shop. So there's all kinds of ways that you can, that shopping experience, lots of ways that you can make money with it. So this one is interesting to me, and I am going to I'm going to do this. I'm kind of getting in this mode right now of losing a couple pounds and that type of thing.
Yeah.
So there's an app called Pact. P-A-C-T.
Pact.
P-A-C-T. And it's like I'm making a pact with you, Jim.
Okay.
Now, this is across the board. So people who are into this app, let's say my goal is that I'm gonna walk 3 miles a day or 3 miles a day for 5 days a week or something like that, right? And I actually say that if I don't do this, I have to pay $5.
Oh.
Okay. So every day that I don't make my 3 mile jaunt, I pay $5 into the pool. Okay. And when I make my goals, that money that's in that pool gets distributed back to me. So if you don't do your goal and I do my goal, I get paid for my goal.
All right.
That's very interesting, isn't it?
I like it.
And I think it motivates a person a little bit more than normal to go out and do this exercise or whatever. So even if you don't get paid for it, you will. But if you make your goals, I guarantee, as I was reading through this, if you make your goals, you will make money by losing weight,
you
working
stick to your
out.
guns, do what you're supposed to do.
That's exactly right. So
kind of like rewarding yourself.
It is. So and
punishing yourself.
The app uses GPS to track yourself. So it tracks if you're going to the gym or if you're walking or whatever.
So if it sees you at the Dairy Queen, bam,
you're done.
You're busted.
That's hilarious, actually. So but it's Pact, B-A-C-T, and I am going to participate in this, and I'll give reviews every once in a while on this app. I'll let everybody know if I've made a couple extra dollars on it and how my goals are going because of it. So
I've been starting up my walking again. Maybe I'll do it.
You should do it, know, and I don't think you have to get crazy with it. I know some people put big amounts in there, like $10 if you don't work out for the day or whatever. There's no reason that you couldn't put $1 in there.
Yeah. It adds up.
Right. It adds up, but if you don't do it, then of course you're not going to go bankrupt because you attach a credit card to it, and if you don't make a goal for that day, they just suck the money out of your account is what they do. That's right. But yeah, that's kind of cool. Google Opinion Rewards. So this is interesting. You can make money answering survey questions on you have to have an Android for this, but on your Android smartphone with Google Opinion Rewards. It's also known as Google Surveys by many users. This free app rewards you for sharing your opinion.
Really?
So
I should get that.
You should get that because
I'll do it right now.
You get paid anywhere from 10 cents to $5, I think it is, for going through a series of questions on surveys.
Do they use Work PayPal?
I believe they do.
Okay.
So yeah, it'll just drop the money right into your account and away you go. So
I got to get my PayPal up to date first.
Sure. There might be other ways too. You might be able to just have it direct deposited to your account or whatever. But I would certainly use, if you're looking to, this is the thing. You're standing in a line checking out somewhere, right? You got 3, 4, 5 minutes. Instead of doing a bunch of text to your friends or whatever, maybe you can take a quick survey or two and make 50 cents or $2 while you're standing there doing that. I find that interesting. So, GigWalk is another one. GigWalk helps you find a side gig to make a little extra money or a full paycheck in some cases.
That's what I'd be interested in.
So GigWalk would be something that I think you would actually qualify for, Jim, because you would actually, let's say you need to do, for you, voiceover work.
Yeah.
So there might be a couple agencies in the area here that are looking for voiceover work, right? So they would actually post in GigWalk for that, and then you'd say, hey, I'm a guy here that can do this type of work. Maybe you're good at shoveling snow.
What's the name of the service?
Gigwalk. GIGWALK.
Gotcha.
Gig Walk.
Okay.
And you can go in there and you can actually put in the parameters for what your passions are, what your talents are. Yeah. And people who are looking for you will seek you out, and or vice versa. People will post stuff in there for, and it might be just a 2-hour gig. It might be a 15-minute thing. It might be a full day thing. You just never know what you'll find in there. It's very interesting. The other one, Jim, that you want to write down then, because if you're looking for that extra little bit of work, is TaskRabbit.
TaskRabbit.
Yes, TaskRabbit. Now, I'll give you a little example of TaskRabbit, because I use TaskRabbit on the other side. I'm somebody who pays people to do jobs for me. So I had an issue, like 3 or 4 months ago for National Day Calendar. Something happened where the people who had a new day coming up didn't get their proclamation.
Oh.
And we're at that time. I only had like 2 hours to pull this off.
Yeah.
And these people are in San Francisco. There is no way that I can get this proclamation delivered to them in time. So what I did is I actually had a local firm in San Francisco print up the proclamation for me down there. And then I hired somebody in TaskRabbit to pick it up, frame it, and drop it off at the place in San Francisco.
Wonderful.
I got this all done in 2 hours, and it cost me like $20.
It's well worth it.
It was well worth it on my
investment.
side. And, of course, for the person doing it, they probably spent 15 minutes doing this, and they got paid $20 for it,
Yeah.
So for them, it was good, too. I mean, it was good all the way around. So I love TaskRabbit. And TaskRabbit can be anything. Again, I mean, there's voiceover work in there again. There are people to shovel snow, in the wintertime if you need somebody to mow
the
your lawn.
Like we got a guy out of here.
Yeah, exactly. Grocery shopping is a big deal. Pick up my groceries for me, all kinds of stuff. So TaskRabbit is wonderful, and they're very reputable. They've been around for a long time and growing in reputation all the time. So I'd check them out as well. After the break, everybody, we will continue our conversation on how to make money along with the latest in tech news.
Right now it's 73.
Dave Ramsey is heard here. Super Talk 1270.
Follow the Guru of Geek everywhere he goes. Post your comments or questions at thetechranch.com. Once again, your Guru of Geek, Marlo Anderson.
And, of course, we're paying a little tribute to Adam West.
Yeah.
As Batman.
He will be missed. Did you ever see the DVD of the Batman movie, the one that he did? With the folks from the TV show.
Yeah. As crazy as this is, Jim, a week before he passed away, I actually watched that movie.
Yeah.
And I was it was almost hysterical by today's movie standards, right? Did the helicopter, right?
Yeah.
As you're watching that thing take off, it's got wings, the bat wings on the side of it, right? You can see how they tethered the bat wings to the helicopter. I was just dying laughing when I seen that.
Two scenes in my mind stand out. One is with the shark repellent.
Yes. He's pulling out of the water.
And the other is when he's running down the boardwalk trying to get rid of the bomb.
Right.
He's trying to throw the bomb overboard, and the little duckies are there. He doesn't want to hurt the duckies, so he's got to run a little further down the fishing pier, whatever it was.
If you haven't seen the shark repellent part, right? So they're in the bat helicopter.
They're in the bat helicopter.
Right.
They're trying to, I think the Joker was in a submarine or something.
It was on a boat, actually.
On a boat,
and the boat disappears.
Yeah.
And they're being lowered into the water, and this shark grabs Adam West, and they're pulling him out of the water, right? And as he's trying to get this shark off of him, 100 feet into the air, he radios to Robin to bring down the shark repellent.
No, the bat shark repellent.
Bat shark repellent, that's right. Like you would just happen to have in the helicopter that you're flying around in. It was fantastic. Of course, he passed away last week.
Yeah.
I was in L.A. the night that they shone the bat signal in the sky.
On the
last Thursday night.
What's that building? It's the L.A. Times building,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Very famous building.
It was so cool that they did that.
I
thought it was a cool thing. So anyway, part of my wonderful life, I guess.
One tip: if you get the movie, the Batman movie that they did, that Adam West did with Burt Ward and the rest of them, you got to listen to the commentary Adam and Bert did commentary through the
Really?
whole movie. You click the little thing, you could hear it. It is hysterical. As crazy as the movie is, it's even better with them doing the commentary. Mostly it's them just laughing their butts off
I'm sure.
and everything.
Well, they had to. I mean, how do you
Yeah.
make a movie that is so campy like that? It
How
just-
do you take yourself seriously when you're running around dressed like that?
and having sharks being pulled out of the water.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's
The man
it
who
was
created Batman, Bob Kane, he had a very famous saying. He said, something just happens to people when they see a guy in that suit.
great. Must be. It was like a who's of Hollywood at the time too. I mean,
Caesar Romero.
yes, Burgess Meredith, Lee
Our
Merriweather.
local guy, Johnny Green,
Yes.
local musician.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was in it. We've had Johnny on the show
Yes,
a bunch of times.
yeah, Johnny's great to have. Yeah,
He's got some great stories.
He does. Yeah, it's very, very cool. So, of course, we're talking about how you can make money with your smart device. We get a little sidetracked here, but that's okay. Nice throw out to Adam West. So, some of the other apps, too, Jim. Have you ever done a smart shopper type of deal?
No, my wife has.
Okay.
She actually made a little bit of money doing it before she married me.
Okay. Yeah, there's all kinds of opportunities to do this. So there's a couple of apps that
Or
you
Secret
can do
Shopper,
this.
whatever you
Secret
call it,
Shopper,
yeah.
absolutely. There's actually a couple apps, and I've used the one. One is called Field Agent. I actually know the developer of this out of Fayetteville, Arkansas. Just a wonderful guy. Speaking of West, I think it's Rick West is his name.
Interesting that it would come out of the hometown of Walmart.
So Walmart's actually Bentonville.
Oh, okay.
Right,
Nearby,
but,
yeah.
But you're right in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Fayetteville, Bentonville area is northwest Arkansas and home of Walmart, Sam's Club. Yeah. But Field Agents is fantastic. You can what you do is you go in as a secret shopper basically, and they have these tasks that they put out, and they say, hey, if you on your way home tonight, you can swing by this place and if you do this and see if the shelves are stocked with this particular product, we'll pay you $2 for this. And it's something that you probably don't want to just go do, but if you're going to that place anyway, might as well be a secret shopper, right? They've had deals on there. This one deal in particular was if you went out and bought a beer at a particular joint, they would compensate you the cost of the beer plus $8.
Whoa.
So you would go buy your beer.
You're getting paid to drink.
You got paid to drink that time. So
I'd be in trouble.
What they were after was they were making sure that the beer was at the proper temperature and that the server was great and all that type of thing. So they do great things. Field Agent is that app. And then another one that's very similar to is called Mobee, M-O-B-E-E. And you can be a secret shopper with that too. So there's a couple ways you can make some money doing that. Let's see, what else am I forgetting here? Oh, SlideJoy and Fronto. Now, these are for Android only, and only if you are okay with getting ads on your phone.
Yeah,
I know, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
But what they do is they make money from ads displayed on your lock screen. So when your screen is locked down and you go to unlock your screen, that ad will be there, and you can make a couple of dollars doing that. So that's probably not as sexy as some of the other ways to make some money, but for some people that might be okay.
Yeah.
There's also some apps out there that you can get where you get paid to watch videos and those type of things, and those are okay too, but the return on investment for your time is not even, it just isn't significant.
Or just looking for like test markets for movies and that kind of thing?
I don't know if it would be so much that. They might be looking at, maybe an advertisement that they're wondering how you would like, would you be more apt to buy the product if you watch this or less apps? So market survey type of things.
Sure.
They do have some other videos, I think, that are longer that, again, a market survey where is this video good enough to get released on DVD or not? That's what they look at.
Gotcha.
So, so all kinds of ways that you can make a couple dollars. Again, I'm going to start doing the pack thing, so I'll keep everybody up to date. Yeah. And I think that'll be a lot of fun, too. So other news, roboticist Joe Jones, the inventor of the Roomba, that keeps your homes clean, the robotic vacuum cleaner, right, has come out with a similar device called the Turtle.
Oh, yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah, it weeds your garden.
So basically, it's a Roomba with a weed whacker.
Right, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
How cool is that? The only issue that I would have is I have all these little tiny places all over the place. So I'd have to have a bunch of them. But if you have a garden and you don't want to do the weeding for it, this thing will actually weed your garden. Yeah. I think that's pretty cool. Let's see. What else do we got? Oh, the Girl Scouts. So the Girl Scouts have partnered with Palo Alto Networks. They now have 18 new cybersecurity badges. So as a Girl Scout, you can learn about cybersecurity and get badges.
Merit badges.
Yeah, merit badges.
Merit badges.
Right.
Sure.
That the Girl Scouts will now be able to earn. And I would imagine in the near future, the Boy Scouts will probably have a very similar thing.
I would think so, yeah.
That's interesting, though, because you think about the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts, and you don't really tie into computers and cybersecurity there, but it's just the sign of the times, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, be prepared, right?
That's the Boy Scouts marching song.
That is the Boy Scout marching song, yeah. Yahoo is now an official part of Verizon. I don't know if you knew this, but Verizon bought Yahoo.
Wow,
yeah.
Well, the one day I don't read the papers. Seriously, it's hard to keep up with all this stuff.
It's hard to keep up with all of this stuff. I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make, and of course Yahoo is just not like, I mean, at one time it was the go-to search engine.
Yeah.
I mean, I had everything in Yahoo. I had my email account with Yahoo. I had all this stuff, and Google just came along and dominated all of it. So,
well, my main email system is still Yahoo.
It is
just by convenience.
Sure,
well,
you had it all these years, right?
I have no need to change.
Sure. And it's interesting when you think about it, and a lot of people point to this, the difference between Yahoo and Google. It isn't really the search engine results, because I think they both do a pretty decent job, right?
Yeah.
It's about how they present themselves. Google, there is nothing on the page. You go to google.com, and all there is the search bar, right? When you go to Yahoo, of course, it's full of ads and news and stories and everything else. So they take a little different approach to it, and as a result, Google is dominated in that area.
Interesting how the two have survived when Alta Vista and all these others have fallen by the wayside. Do they even exist anymore? A lot of them don't.
I think Alta Vista is still around. I used to use Dogpile.
Well, Jeeves is gone.
Oh, yeah.
Jeeves, he's out of business.
Used to use Jeeves all the time. Yes. I haven't heard that in a long time. So Bosch is building a $1.1 billion self-driving and smart city chip plant. So Bosch is going to get into building chips, kind of like Intel for computers. Bosch will be, as Intel is to computers, Bosch will be for autonomous vehicles in the future. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I wouldn't think anybody would actually, go to that level, because I'm sure Intel is going to want to be in this game, and everybody else too. So
I'm wondering who's going to be the Henry Ford of driverless automobiles.
That is very interesting.
Who's going to be the company or the person who's really going to make the breakthrough and make this available on a big scale?
That's, and you have so many companies competing for that already. Back in the day with Henry Ford, it was basically, he didn't really have anybody else competing against him, did he?
And you could have any color you want as long as it was black.
Yeah. Jim, it's a pleasure.
Likewise.
Great to be back, and we'll talk to everybody again next week.